Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, I can't hear anything. Why am I not hearing anything? Hello, hello. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Phew. I was on that plane. That's right. I was on the plane, very similar to the plane that's leaving Wuhan. I was on the same plane as them in 2003, leaving Beijing. I was on the last plane out. I guess this is the first plane. I was on the last plane out, Beijing, 2003. SARS versus coronavirus. Don't call it coronavirus. SARS versus uh, Wuhan. Wuhan FEI YAN. Wuhan FEI YAN. I was on that plane. That's right. Uh, so Hubei is the province. Wuhan is the city. From uh, Hubei, Wuhan. I was on the same plane. I know what it's like. Wow, man. It was so quiet on that plane. Everyone had bottles on their head. They had like two. You had to wear two masks. Looking at everybody. Yeah. Who on the plane is sick? Someone coughed or cleared their throat. Whew. I was on that plane, man. I know exactly what those people are doing. And when you get to some place, first we went to Vancouver. We were on our way to East Coast. So first we went to Vancouver. They took us to Vancouver. This time, the newest plane, they took them to Alaska or something out of the way. And then they went to the military. But back in '03 during SARS, they didn't think of something like that. They checked everybody. Person came out and talked to us when we landed in Vancouver. This was '03. We're talking about the same kind of plane. So I know what these people are going through. I know how they feel, man. It's every little thing, every little cough. So you hear someone cough in the back and you just start to blame that person. But right now in Wuhan, uh, there there's hope. They're all the people who should be out for Chinese New Year. They're all building those hospitals, the fastest hospital ever built. Right? They learn at least they're coming together, and they're talking about the 10-day peak. This is the first peak. It can be the last peak. Let's make it the last peak. The next 10 days, everyone stays where they are, and they say it's the first time that sleeping and staying home and being lazy is patriotic. Lazy, patriotic. Yeah, I didn't feel too patriotic on that plane leaving Beijing, leaving my home. I was an expat for 22 years, but there was just no work, nothing, no way to make money. And if you're sick, maybe you don't have the uh, Wuhan Wuhan FEI YAN. If you don't have the Wuhan FEI YAN, maybe you have a different disease. You don't have the coronavirus. Maybe you have uh, cancer. Maybe you need dialysis. Maybe you need regular treatment for anything. Anything you normally have to go to the doctor for, your normal medicine. You can't get that now. You can't get that. So people who could get out got out. But I was slow to leave. I got on the last plane out of Beijing back in '03, and just it was the quietest flight I've ever seen. It was like people were ghosts. They didn't want to talk to nobody. Like people hate when you sit in the plane and the guy's like blah 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 blah. But this man, it wasn't. They're not talking to you. They're accusing you with their eyes. You're the one. He's got the disease, man. It's him. Let's get him. He's got long hair. You don't want to get that far, but I mean, all right, you can wear a mask, right? How do these people wear it for so long, And then the flight to America, it was like 15, 18 hours. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was long. It was long. And they made us. And then when you got there, we stayed on the tarmac for like 5 hours. They didn't know if they were going to take us. But then they took us. But one by one, they wanted people to come in one group at a time. They did that whole temperature thing. They looked at you. They pulled a couple guys aside. Not me though. I walked right on through, man. But hey, you. I would have kept going. I did not. I did not want to be on that plane. It was like a ghost plane. You know, it was no blankets. It's cold up there, but they said no blankets and no hot food. I think all they had was ice cream was the only thing they could give us on that plane. So I know exactly what there's people on that plane, what they feel like. I was on that same plane in 2003, the last plane out. Whew. It was crazy. And even the kids were sedate. You know, usually kids are crying on the planes. And it didn't matter if you were first class, business class, economy class. Yeah. And the air attendants, we used to call them stewardesses and stewards. We call them air attendants now. Yeah, them folk. They were quiet too. They stayed in their place, and even they wore face masks, so they didn't talk when they came down the aisles. They pointed at the drinks. They would point at the tea, point at the coffee. It was so quiet. It was so bizarre. It was, because usually lots of crazy stuff happens, especially on long flights, 15 hours, man. That's a long time to be wearing this thing. Hey, how you doing there? Put your nose outside. I had to figure out ways to entertain myself. I'm Mr. Normal. It's hard. But now, they're already in Wuhan. They're already sold out of face masks and everything. So people make their own. I've seen them make them out of bras. I saw that for real. People had bras, face masks. Whew. All right, official numbers. So officially, they're saying 6,000, 7,000, 7,000 ish. But that means they're not taking into account the 5,000 they know, but they don't want to say. So still 12. And then we cannot forget about the dinner with 10,000 people. That was crazy. And the culture has to stop. We have to put health first and put hope first. So Wuhan, Jayo, go, go, go. Jayo, add oil, get better. It's like when you're rooting them on, because that's what we're doing. We're all rooting for it. Build that hospital. Work together. Put those people to work. Get your people fed. Get the law. Don't forget about the other people who have different health issues, not just the Wuhan FEI YAN, not just the coronavirus, but people have regular issues. Don't forget about them. Keep, help the older people and the babies. And definitely work together. You got to work together. But it must be hard. My family in Wuhan said when the new hospitals, the rule is that's it. Only sick people can even go in. Because usually in China, they let you go with your family and be in the room when the operation happens, and then and live. When I was in the hospital for I had some kidney stones, kidney stones. I was there, and my wife visited me a couple times, but there were three men in the room. It was me, this guy who his lungs had serious issues, and this guy who bumped his head. And the one guy who bumped his head, his whole family lived in the hotel room with us. So it was very interesting. There was always 2 or 3 of them. And he bumped his head, so his memory was gone. So it's sad, but he would wake up and he would look at me and say, "It's a foreigner. Whoa, it's a foreigner." And then he'd wake up later. "Oh, what? Hey, it's a foreigner. Hey, it's a white. And then he'd forget because he bumped his head. He would wake up in the hospital. And I was sitting next to him, and he would be so shocked. And his parents would just laugh the whole time, or his wife and his parents. But he had a serious damage to his brain. They thought it was funny. That's amazing to me. And the next guy to me in the other bed, he had fluid in his lungs. It wasn't good. They would drain it with this machine. It was a bad sound. But now in the new hospital in Wuhan that they just built, no one goes in except the sick person. So they are changed. They're going against their culture because their culture demands that the family be there, like in where we would say uncomfortable situations. Like I said, they in the operating room, or while I was getting shaved by the nurses, there were people in there. But now they're really separate. And then this SARS in Beijing, they built a similar hospital very quickly. Not as quickly, but now they know exactly what to do. So SARS was like training for them, training. And now is the time for the training to come together. Whew. And there's going to be more of those flights, because the flight I was on, it was like one way. After that, they said, you could come back for free. There's no more. The tickets, it's free. So, because it's a one-way ticket to get out. Don't know when you can come back. But right now, the hope is hope for the peak, the 10-day peak, and then March 27th. But right now, it's the Spring Festival. 春节快乐，恭喜发财，红包拿来。It's the year of the rat, new year of the cycle, of the 12-year cycle. So that's important. It's new. We have old things that attacked us, this disease. Let's use new technology, new friends, new hope to get rid of this disease. I'm sure that's what they're thinking on the plane. That's what I was thinking. I didn't know if I'd ever get back. But it was like 3 months. 3 months later, it was 2003. I was in Beijing on that plane. And about 3 months, things went back to normal. But we learned from SARS. Let's learn from it together. All right? And let's say Wuhan Jiao. Wuhan's the city, and it's in Hubei. I've been there, a few times. And like I said, my family's there. So lots of people. They say it's the 5th largest province in China, the 5th largest. And it's the hub because it's the center of China. And it's a province now, but it used to be a state. So like, the 3 kingdoms. Yeah, it was one of them kingdoms. It was one of the kingdoms. You know what I'm saying? It was one of the kingdoms. It's such an important place culturally. A lot of the writers came from there, from Wuhan. They call it the oven of China. It's cooking up something now. I tell you what, the oven of China, because it gets so hot in the summer, but also because there's lots of ideas cooked up there. All right, guys. Wuhan. Oh, someone said something. Good luck. Yeah, I agree. Good luck. Great luck. I say great luck to you. Not just good luck, but great luck. And if you guys find yourself on an airplane like that, the last plane out, man, I was in the SARS, last plane out. I tried to be funny because that's my stupid way of dealing with things, but no one wanted to be funny on that flight. And I kept taking off my mask, but people didn't like that. Even though I'm just not good at. Would you be? I mean, how long could you wear this mask? I can't do it, man. But the disease is no joke. And it's like SARS, but 20% tougher, they're saying. 20%. And like that 20% is like exponential, right? 20% tougher. Because it attacks both of your lungs at once. The Wuhan FEI YAN coronavirus. Corona it doesn't say anything about China, and I don't like it. Wuhan FEI YAN. FEI YAN is lung disease, and it's both the lungs, which What does coronavirus tell you? It's about beer? No. If you say the Fei Yan, it tells you where it's from and it tells you what it is. So let's call it Wuhan FEI YAN, please. I definitely think people should learn a little Chinese, right? We should learn a little of other languages out of respect. Respect. The good and the bad, we respect it. Wuhan FEI YAN. It attacks both the lungs. You don't need symptoms. You don't need to be showing symptoms to pass it on, to other people. Ran in Chinese, pass it on. Ran. It seems like it's handing over ran to give to somebody else. You don't need a fever, cough, or nothing. Before you show symptoms, that's when it comes out. That's crazy. That's crazy. Before you show symptoms. So all this did at the airport, it don't mean nothing. These, I don't know. They say you're within 2 meters of someone who's got it bad. That's all it takes, 2 meters. But imagine if it's your family who's got it. You're not going to not hug them, especially if they're really sick. It's their time. What are you going to do? Discipline. What would you do? I don't know. But people in Wuhan, they're figuring it out right now. I know lots of them they should be celebrating, but they're working on those hospitals. They're working on getting people food. And, in Wuhan, in China, you can't drink the water out of the tap. You cannot. I did that one time. And so water. You got to get the clean water. Come on. You have to prepare in advance for that. All right. The people heading out on that plane, man. They put them up in nice hotels and but it's the fear that I'll tell you why it's uncomfortable. It's not because they put you in a little hotel and they watch you. No, it's the fear your imagination goes through. You think in your brain all the bad things that might happen. Oh, this might happen. Oh, was it that guy? He's a little dirty. Oh, he has a mustache. Who did that? Everybody with a beard is bad. That's something I heard. But you're always guessing, who is it? Who's got it? Who's going to give it to me? That's not a good way to live. And I always wanted to make a story that was a guy gets people diseases with a evil handshake, but only when he rips you off. And then at the end, the big cure is a hug. Yongbao. That's how you cure people who have the disease. The guy who ripped him off by shaking his hands. We used to say in English class, I would teach him, he's so shady. When you shake his hand, after you shake his hand, you better count your fingers. That's how shady that guy is. So he went around giving people a disease with his hand. And then the only cure was a hug from a kind person. I wish that was the cure to Wuhan FEI YAN. I wish a hug would be the cure. Wouldn't that be awesome? Come on, how do we make that work? Let's make a hug the cure instead of keeping people away from each other. Instead of pushing them away, let's keep them closer together. So we got to make the cure a hug. It's so warm when you hug other people, though. I'm sure it brings you some very good, health benefits. Hugging is very important. No one wanted to hug on that plane. I was like, give me a hug. They're like, no, you're the one. But I'm wearing red because we have to celebrate the good things. 春节, 老鼠年, 鼠年, 老鼠年, 老鼠. Year of the rat. Year of the rat. Very calm. It's not a calm start. Very smart. It's not a smart start, but it's just starting. So maybe it's good to get all the bad out and head forward. How about we do our breathing exercises and pronunciations? Red leather, yellow leather, red leather. All right, class. English class time. All right. Breathe in through the nose. Z, sometimes the S has the Z sound. Breathe in through the nose. out through the mouth, th mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. This is how we're taught to breathe, even with these things on. I guess you have to do only nose only. Oh no! But if you only breathe through your nose, your mouth gets so dry. Everything gets dry. So how about? I saw one guy smoke a cigarette. He poked a hole. I saw that, man. He had a hole in his mask. People during SARS and even now during this Wuhan FEI YAN coronavirus, people say, "Oh, smoking, it'll block stuff." No. Oh, smoking will help you keep the disease away. No, it'll make you weak. That's what you don't want to be, is weak. You just got to be strong, be smart. Wash your hands, and they say don't touch your face. Don't touch somebody else's face. But be strong. Get that vitamin C, and don't go within 2 meters of somebody you think you got it. That's what I'm saying, man. I ain't going within 2 meters. 2 meters is about 2.2 yards. That's about, say, 6 feet there. Yeah, in China they use meters, and they also use Celsius. So I went there. It's like, today is 35 degrees. I'm like, that's cold as balls, man. And then it was hot as balls, man. I was like, I thought it was cold as balls, and then it was hot as balls, or hot as whatever you want to say. It was hot. And Wuhan is the oven of China, so they know about hot. And on that plane, when these things grab at your face, that's what makes me hot, just to heat me up. Anyway, Wuhan Jiao. We'll talk tomorrow. I'll get some more information direct from my family in Wuhan. They're working, so I know some of them are working on the hospital, which is nice. 好，谢谢你们朋友，加油！武汉，加油，朋友！ Everyone, 注意身体 take care of yourselves. Mr. Magic Parsons. OUT. See you next time. Bye for now. Catch you on the flip side. See you later, alligator. After a while, Mr. Crocodile.